Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be a part of a collaboration blog hop between Pinkfresh Studio and My Sweet Petunia. And I have a fun project to share with you where I do one of my favorite things to do with the MISTI, which is repetitive stamping using the ruler guides on the MISTI. Now this is the new MISTI 2.0, the upgraded version. I love it. I can't recommend it enough. So I have a panel of Nina Solar White, which I centered on the MISTI. It's about 6.5 inches on the left-hand side, if you're going by the rulers, which I am. And I have this pop-out diamonds stamp set. I'm only using that solid diamond stamp. I'm inking it up with peach fuzz ink right in the center of the panel. And every time I ink up the diamond, I stamp it twice. Just to clarify, in case I don't show it or if I do show it, I always stamp twice. I don't know if I'm superstitious or if it just looks better. I don't know. Sometimes when you get the really dark, vivid, juicy inks, you only need to stamp it once. But with the lighter colors, I find I'm happiest if I stamp it twice. Every time I stamp it, then I clean it, then I bump the panel down 3/4 of an inch. And that gives you just about halfway between the diamonds. So now you have this overlapping diamond, which I stamp with lemon whip. Okay, here I go, bump the panel down 3/4 of an inch. You never have to move the stamp. It stays in the same spot. It's great for lazy stampers like me, but it always looks perfect. And the spacing is consistent because you're using the ruler guides. Every time you move it, whatever spacing you decide to move it, today I decided on 3/4 of an inch because that was about halfway into the diamond shape. Okay, so I'm working my way off the panel here. This is the last one that's going to fit. It's kind of halfway hanging off. That's okay. I dig it. It's all about the overlap. Those overlapping colors, that's where the magic is. Okay, so I'm going to clean off my MISTI, put my panel back where it originally was, which was about 6.5. See that? 6.5 I'm measuring. Okay, and then I bumped it up 3/4 of an inch. So now I'm going the other direction using coral reef. And see how that's halfway going the other direction. Again, stamping it twice, working my way through the diamond rainbow. Of course, you don't have to do rainbow, but you know it's my jam. You could do whatever color combo tickles your fancy. And okay, so after coral reef, I'm doing a little ballet slipper. And then I'll do one more. Actually, ballet slipper, you know what? I think I stamped this 3 times because it's just so light. And I was trying to get an overlap on that coral reef. Sometimes when colors are really dark and vivid, it's hard to see the overlap. What are you going to do? You just keep rolling with it is what you do. Then lastly with soft lilac. And that's going to finish this first row of overlapping diamonds. Now take a look at it and just feast your eyes. Okay, I'm going to do one more row. So I put it back in the center, 6.5 on the left-hand side. I'm going to take that diamond. I cleaned it all up, and I kind of positioned it below. It's still overlapping, but it gives you a little bit of breathing room. Now what I'm doing is I'm stamping in one shade darker. You know how the Pinkfresh Studio inks, for every color family, there's 4 shades. So my first row was with all the lightest shades, and now this row is the second darker shade. Does that make sense? So I'm doing like a light row and then a more vivid row. Bumping up the vibrancy, bumping up the joy is what I'm doing. Okay, so last week, while I'm stamping away, I'll just tell you a little story. Last week, our family took a little road trip. 4 hours south of Germany, took us into Lake Como, Italy. We rented a little condominium on Lake Como. And by the way, did you know George Clooney has a little villa there, or at least he used to? I don't know. We didn't look at it, but I saw it online. One day we rented a boat. You could rent a boat for 3 hours for like $100 and some. It was totally worth it. And we drove around Lake Como. We even stopped and docked the boat for a second. Hubby ran and got some pizzas and came back on the boat, and we ate pizzas on the boat while we were driving around Lake Como. Literally died and went to pizza heaven. Can I tell you, we stayed, I think, 5 nights in that condo, and I ate pizza 6 times. Now, I love pizza, but I got to tell you, I was getting blown out, but it is darn good. I don't know. It's so simple. And every time I have the same kind. Just margarita. It's just margarita pizza, which is just tomato sauce and cheese. Forget about it. It's all you need. And, okay, I finished this diamond. Look at it. I mean, I trim it out, popping it up on a white card base. Nina, 110 pound, nice and sturdy. Now for a sentiment, I'm using the Classic Words die set. This is an oldie but a goodie. It's an old standby. I think I've used this hello a million times, but I love it. And I especially love it with gold foil cardstock. And then I did 4 out of white, stacking them up to give it heft and dimension. So back to the pizza. Can I tell you something? There was no fast food to be found. Not a single drive-through could we find. It was either pizza, or it was pasta, or it was gelato. And that is it. That is it. Not a lot of choices. But what choices you have were spectacular. The view was incredible. The beach is rocky. And I have very sensitive feet, so I'm going to tell you I could barely walk. Okay, this card is finished. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure and check out the rest of the Pinkfresh Studio and My Sweet Petunia collaboration blog hop. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.